Testing, testing. Oi. De- definitely, definitely there. How's that? A little better? Boom, boom. Yeah, I like that better. All right. You know what else? Let's see about this. Ah, all right. I think that's the way to go there. Test, test, test. Yes, perfect. All right. Let's get started. Review the trade plan here. Might be worth just, no, we'll do it when we review past trades. So I still am going to trade exactly how I've been trading. I am introducing a 1 minute entry model, and it has some moving averages involved in it, but otherwise, everything's pretty much the same in terms of I want to take it in line with higher time frame analysis. So all of this other stuff is still true. All this upper time frame analysis, I think, really helps me get on the right side of the market if I trust it. So monthly, weekly candle analysis, daily candle analysis as well. Just looking at structure and ERL, IRL. Arguably, I do that for 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute as well, but I view those in the light of this thing called Smart Gain Concepts. Um, and so the 4 hours looking at the monthly, hour at weekly, 15 at daily, and 5 at the session. And what the GAN concepts does is it splits the intervals into quarters and then proposes that for the first 25% of that interval, so the first quarter, that typically you're set in a range, which then gets manipulated and then distributes. And so, based on that, we can draw time-based liquidity levels, and then within that, we also have price-based liquidity levels. So the time-based are based on sort of those quarters and also opening times and so on and so forth. And the price-based are based more on the structure, ERL, IRL concept. So we're looking at all of that, and then we're also looking at if there has been manipulation. Typically, what happens is the distribution goes based on projections from that manipulation. So all of that is still in play. Um, this Q2 range of the New York session is also going to be in my analysis. And typically I'll be looking at the 3 minute for identifying bias based on that range. So with all that, create scenarios, or not create, but identify possible scenarios that could be playing out. And then if one of those scenarios is playing out, and that's a big thing, is like if. And excuse me, some allergies today. Also need some water. Um, one of the things I really didn't do well last week was trust all of this. And in particular, if I hit one of the projections, I didn't trust that it was going to turn around, and I tried to trade right through them. Um, and so, I honestly didn't do too much review of last week in detail over the weekend. Uh, I was testing this new entry model that I have instead. And but in the reviews that I did do midweek, it was very apparent that I was not. I was reading things okay, but ignoring it. And letting impulse get the better of me. So there's a lot of psychological mistakes that I made last week that I have the main goal this week of not doing that, of really sticking to the plan, entering according to the plan. And I had this M1 entry model to potentially make it easier, um, where I don't have to be as sharp every day in terms of um, getting in right away. But anyway, I think that's the long-term goal too, is to have a few M1 models that I can trade. Uh, but for now, essentially, still going to use these S10 models, and then I haven't added it in here, but I will here just not nominally. M1 JD entry. JD is a fellow trader friend I met through one of the courses I went through. Who's, I think, been pretty successful overall, traded a long time, and has gone through a lot of the ICT and developed pretty much a single model that has very good results. I've been back testing a few months now, and very simple. And so that's the JD entry is what I'll call it. He calls it the JDRS, the reversal strategy. Anyway, so need one of these scenarios playing out, right? I need that high time frame. And another thing that I know is that when sometimes I don't get the entry on the scenario and it hits targets, I'm not willing to take a step back. And so that's something I need to work on. So anyway, the market condition is that the scenario is playing out and then it has not finished playing out, right? Or it hasn't hit one of the targets. And then if it is playing out, I want to see sort of my M5 confirming it. And what that typically means is that I've either hit a projection on the M5 as part of the retrace, and then I'm playing the continuation on the H1, or M5 has already sort of done that, and we hit an H1, and M5 now has a fair value gap or order block trade in the direction of the trade, or the impulse structure is now in the direction of the H1. So additionally, I want to trade with my M1 impulse structure, or reversal PA. Now, this is going to be not true all the time on the JD entry, and so I'm going to have to accept that. But the JD entry, again, is based on some other things. So this is more for S10 entries. And then once I get that, I want to see the IRL taken, and that's either an order block, manipulation block, breaker block, fair value gap, or internal ERL. If it's not well priced, I definitely need the internal ERL or some sort of M5 sweep. So with that, if all of that's met, I can look for any of these S10 entries. And so I have the simple sweep, which is effectively where I sweep this level or any of these levels, and then I get an immediate sort of engulfing candle. I can enter off of that. I have the AMS sweep entries, which is where I get the sweep of this level, but it doesn't immediately go, but it forms this advanced market structure that I look at. Or in a similar fashion, if I'm in one of those areas and it's also within the fair value gap of the S10, I can also do this on the M1, where it forms its advanced market structure, then I can take an entry based on that. So I'm still going to do this where I have 33 for any of these entries, even the M1 entry. I'm going mostly because I have trailing drawdown, and this is my method of dealing with that trailing drawdown. Is I could do this and never lose more than a third of trailing drawdown if I don't move my stop, and typically I'll price wait on the M1, and then that'll hold it off. And so we'll do a third at 1R, a 6 at 2R, 6 at 3R, and final bid at 5R. And that's pretty much it. So you can see this is sort of how that plays out. If I'm doing a 150K count, it would take 2.5 trades. I'm actually trading the 250K counts right now because they renewed. All right, so let's just look at a few of the trades from last last week. I don't want to get too involved in them because of how bad it actually was. And it's not good to just start by hammering myself up on the shit. What we can look at is this was a decent JD entry here. I actually took it a little late on the 10 second. I got sort of my confirmation that it closed above that. Notice that this is not like an advanced market structure entry, unless if I use this low right here, and it's still not. So this didn't meet that criteria, but it did meet the JDRS criteria effectively. This is the 100 MA. It's above the 200 MA. You got this impulse out, which came out of really this fair value gap here. So you're trading along with that 5 fair value gap. And it hit the 62% and didn't stop you out on the 90%. So the actual JDRS entry would enter there, stop there, and it ended up going, I think, full to the 1.5 projection. I had my trailer right there, and so that was a decent trade for the most part last week. We can just look at bad trades, and I don't want to look at too many, except for the fact that, you know, like I imagine this one, I don't think I even had it shown. I say it's a terrible trade. It was obvious at the right place, but this was the right entry there. I don't have the S10. I didn't on Thursday. I was pretty well tired of logging my shit. So if we go look at Wednesday, I think some of these have at least. So here's a case where I was learning more and more, and I got back out of the discount. In some ways, I met. This did meet the criteria. It swept internal euro. The thing is, there's this M1 fair value gap right here, and what ended up happening on this, and I don't think I actually logged or took a screenshot of what ended up happening, but you could see that it effectively hit that fair value gap and then it went. And so this is where follow this was actually an okay trade. There was a lot of confluence here. We had taken out London low. The negative side, and this I'm noticing more and more, is a lot of the strategies struggle that I follow when you're in this Q2 range here. So that was the negative side. But otherwise, it's one of those judgment calls. I think if there is a nice M1 ERL right here, which there was, sorry, IRL fair value gap here, to just wait for it to tap that, right? And that did end up happening. This tapped, and then as you can see here, it tapped, it held that, and so the entry was in here, and that worked. So I actually have this as 4-star because it was per the plan that I had at the time, and you could see that this was a trade taken just before that, which was similar, and really sort of had everything. So it's one of those, like, these could just be statistical losses, and I didn't have the mental fortitude to accept that last week. And I in seeing this more and more, like, coming back here, like, yeah, this was a decent trade. I actually might have been able to get 1R off there, but I think having the acknowledgement that you broke through this fair value gap, and so this is sort of probably the next target would have been something to be mindful of, especially considering, once you liquidated here, the M1 didn't really go. So it goes back to just sort of keeping track of that and noticing that there's this fair value gap here that it could be seeking. Now, the next one down, right, wouldn't necessarily be it. This was the first fair value gap in the discount of the structure. So I think that trade was okay. We'll see here. This is a trade, I think there's a little bit of revenge FOMO here. Like, the original trade I had on didn't get tagged. It went down. It actually had met. You can't really see it, but there's a second deviation right here of that trade. So, like, there's no reason to be trading from here down to the fourth deviation. We just swept London low. We had it close below London low. So this is one of those where, like, the high time frame objective had been met in a lot of ways, and I was trading for the continuation of that before it had come back and really gotten if I were going to take a trade, it was from up here. It's not from down here. So maybe a little bit of impatience there. You know, market maker sell model here. We had, this arguably okay. Like, uh, it's just sort of a no trade area, and I think that's something I have a hard time with sometimes. Is I get so, I guess, knowledgeable about this shit that I think I can have a trade everywhere, and I need to learn when not to trade it. When you're smashed between all these arrays, is probably a good time if you don't have clear um, ideas of when not to trade. Um, that said, right, like if there was any trade here, it was on this impulse down right there, and I think it came back up and tapped, and I think that was the trade there to the short side. But as you can see, right. So this candle is a little forward. I think it doesn't show. It shows that we swept London low, but notice that we haven't yet. So where's the draw on liquidity? The draw on liquidity is to the London low right now, right? So this hadn't happened yet, and so if anything, I should be short biased still. So it just goes back to trading those higher time frames and trusting those analyses and doing that. So I think that's enough. I'm not going to harp on last week too much because it happens, and I'm still learning. And we're just gonna move on and go with today. So, um, I am confident in my abilities to trust my instincts. I embrace uncertainty and trust the process, uh, and I need to do a better job of this. Right, like this is it right here, and then I'm definitely capable of overcoming adversity and achieving my goals. So, I will make a few comments. Didn't woke up too early today, so a little slow. News at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. There's PMI coming out. Other than that, I think we're good to go. So I'm going to pull that down here, and let's get into the analysis. So I think another frustrating thing that I've been experiencing is I have been feeling like I've been calling these high time frames well. I think all month I've said, we wicked this, chances are we're going to at least take this out, if not start charging up here, whether it's this month or next month to tackle that. And was calling all of this accumulation, which so far that's playing out. So it's frustrating. I think first 2 weeks I was profitable, but I didn't trade very well. And then, now it's last week, pretty much threw all those profits away. I was between evals and PAs, I was 12R down or something. And if I include Friday, I think 15R, having been 10R up on the month. And fortunately, the management was okay. I didn't lose my PAs. My PAs are fine. And pretty much break even last week. I think 1R down or something. But it's still frustrating because I measure myself on R. Even though I go aggressive on the evals, like it's okay to lose an eval, but the fact that I'm in such, I guess, mental drawdown has been frustrating, especially because I feel like for the most part the reads are okay. So anyway, so that was an aside to myself, and hopefully we can just get over that and recognize that these high time frame reads are actually playing out okay, and so continue to trust it and trade it accordingly. In fact, begin to trust it more, because I think a lot of the reason that I'm struggling is because I don't trust these high time frame reads. So anyway, impulse up, came back down, grabbed internal external liquidity. This is what I would call IERL, because it's an external, it's a short term low within the impulse. It grabbed it and gave a big wick, and so prediction there is potentially that we're going to come all the way up here, but at least to break this right there. All right. So on the weekly, notice there's just this fair value gap on the way down, so I would still have sort of the impulse structure on the weekly if I were to draw it to the upside right here. We came down and we broke some of these, so there was no jump start in here. Actually, there might have been right there, but you have this jump start on the weekly. I'm surprised I don't have that drawn. It's probably already fulfilled. Yeah, so it was fulfilled a long time ago. The only other projection you might be able to draw is this one, which makes sense. Not sure why I don't have that drawn. And so, that manipulation right there would lead you to have this as your projection, which has not yet been met. I know I didn't have that drawn because it came down and liquidated that, so that's no longer valid. So it would have to be off if you're going to do like a weekly projection. You could do this one, which I imagine has already been met. You could do this one, which I imagine has already been met. So in some ways, and then this is jumpstart, which I also imagine has already been met. If you did like the multi-candle, let's see if this has been met. So this one does have the fourth up there. You can notice that it did have resistance at the second, so this does have some validity to it, I would argue. So we can put this in here. Oh, that's a month. I need a week. So we could argue that could be a projection based on the three candle manipulation right here. If conversely we do this, then it's been met. So if you just do the two down candles. So I'm actually not going to put that there. I'll just leave that as a potential target on the weekly. I guess the point is that it's possible that we don't get all the way up there, that the month wick that we saw just is enough to take out the high from last month and then come back down, and that we might really be rolling over. So we'll see. But regardless, on the weekly, we had a strong close up last week above this and this. Not quite this, but I would suggest that this week we will probably see a liquidation of this high and potentially tap into that fair value gap and then see where we go from there. That's the weekly outlook. On the daily, we actually did have a jump start last week. And so if we look at that, that's this right here. So that was the double fair value gap. And then we came back and grabbed that fair value gap. Sorry, did that jump start? That was 2 weeks ago. We created this jump start. Last week, we grabbed it and continued, and we broke and closed above. So again, the suggestion is that we would break this current impulse structure to the upside. We have a fair value gap here that could be a draw, and then all this manipulation second is right there. Is that correctly drawn? Yes, and then the jump start second deviation is right there. So there's a lot of reason for us to at least hit these levels right here, and then we'll see whether that's going to bring us further up. If you notice, that would break all-time highs right here. So again, trusting the analyses and trusting distributions, this is potentially your high. At this point, I would expect some pullback. I wouldn't necessarily expect it to just charge right through to these fours. So I'd be careful in there, Eric. All right, we can do the Gann assessment on the month. I won't do it on the week because we're in the first quarter of the week, so we're just looking at the range. This was in confluence with the idea on the monthly candle that effectively you created this accumulation range. You swept internal liquidity here. You had SMT divergence here, which means more liquidity was effectively used. More liquidity here, with sort of what I'm calling like advanced SMT, because ES did not come down and grab any fair value gap, NQ did. And ES didn't even break the low of this red candle that it had. You don't have any SMT there, I don't believe. Let me double check that. After that happened, yeah. So after that happened, both ES also swept this low and did not sweep this low. So there was no further SMT there. But then we got this jump start on the H4. You can see we hit the second deviation last Thursday and then came back down. And I believe that was one of those cases where I saw that hit and I tried to trade through, which again, need to keep that higher time frame in mind. We've met a lot of the projections from this move up. I don't know this was a jump start. Notice that I do have it drawn. Okay, it's this one. So this jump start here, the second projection was met, and then you got this retrace back into here. We have this jump start now. Actually, was that hit? 203, 205. Yeah, so that was hit. So we have sort of the fourth projection up here. So this is potential draw on liquidity distribution. Notice if you have the daily, that brings you into the daily fair value gap. I'm not sure why the daily projections aren't showing. Let's go look at those. I want those to show. Right, so you've got a lot of liquidity dropped there. Notice this H4 would bring you into the daily projection. And if we're going to go from here, this would be potentially, the next manipulation leg right there. Not the strongest, but because it's just a wick, that would bring it there. If you took the full manipulation from here, then it brings you even further up. I'll just leave those as is for now without putting the box on just yet, just to see if we actually do take off. Notice we had an opening gap this morning, and we've come down and we've liquidated that and closed back above. So that might suggest that we are ready to continue. So that's the monthly GAN. Effectively, we're above our opening range. Came back down into the opening range, which grabbed the bottom fair value gap of the jump start, and then got what looks like could be a reversal out of there, although we haven't confirmed that because we haven't closed above here. We did close above the sweep candles. So again, on the hourly, I'm not going to look at the weekly GAN assessment yet because we're in the first quarter. So this is the range, and that's why a lot of people don't trade Monday, because effectively you're setting the stage for the week. So I just don't look at that too much. But notice we had this jump start to the downside on the hourly, and we hit the second projection already. If we look at this as like the manipulation right there, we've hit the fourth. Even if we take it up to there, we've hit the fourth. So it could be that excuse me, pullback and then hold of this was all that was needed to continue. Conversely, we have yet to break this fair value gap for that jump start, so it could be targeting this fourth projection down here. And that, whether that comes and takes out this low is yet to be determined. But the fact that we're holding this fair value gap so far to the downside, especially if we get a close below sort of these levels, then that might suggest that we are going to come take sell side liquidity first. And then that would set up, if we look at the range, a larger range, dealing range for the week. I'm not sure if that's actually the dealing range, but at least the first quarter range. Dealing range is whatever range you're in right now. Notice we did close. We did. Okay, so we refuted this jump start to the upside as well. So the H1, the upside projections that we have right now are left over from this jump start that hasn't hit its second projection. And then we have this manipulation right here, which I believe 206.75, and our high was 203. Yeah. So we have not hit the second projection from this manipulation. So there's reason for us to also pop up, to still pop up, and we could come all the way back down to here, and these would still maintain integrity. Unless we break effectively this fair value gap, then this jump start is still valid. And unless we break this low, then this manipulation is still valid. So there's upside potential still. But it looks like potentially the market is telling us it might want to come grab more sell side liquidity before completing those objectives. So if we look at our daily, we did not get our kills on high there on London. We have our Asia high up here. We did sweep. London swept the Asian lows and got a reversal off that. And if you look at this 15-minute, that gives us projections up here. If we bring the H1 back in, you can notice that fourth projection is going to get us into some of there as well. So again, on the 15-minute, which is our daily GAN assessment, we have this range. We set the low of the range, and then it looks like we're trying to break up. We have closed through this fair value gap. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing that hasn't been met on the daily to the downside yet in terms of manipulations. So all of there, I think there's a little teeny jump start in here that was met right away in terms of meeting its distribution levels. So as of yet, we could be this could be the main manipulation of the day. That then New York might need to come grab some of this liquidity here potentially, and then continue up. You don't really have necessarily reversal PA on the M15 to the upside yet, so I'd want to see sort of a nice sell side sweep and then a close up to start pursuing these targets up here. So that's on the day, and then on the session. Our session started here. Our session range went all the way down to there, the first quarter range, right? Because I was still before 7:30. Here's your 7:30 open. You didn't really sweep any sell side liquidity there, so what we have done is taken out the session range high, and then we've got this reversal to the downside, and it looks like we have a 5-minute jump start on that. So we currently have what did this do? We currently have this look to the downside. And that would bring us down to grab some of this liquidity, which I was talking about on the daily assessment too. It wouldn't take us all the way down, which means that potentially we will hold this structure and then potentially look for a reversal to the upside there. If we look at our 7:30 to 9 o'clock range, that was actually the 9 o'clock candle there. So we've swept the high of that range and then got the reversal signal to the downside. So again, that would suggest that we're going to come down and potentially sweep the low of the session, the current session low, and maybe that's enough liquidity, if not taking out some of these. I don't see any unused PDAs in here. That's why I would have hesitance about, this is all pretty low resistance, right? So if we do get indication that it wants to continue down, it could blast through those. But right now our goals would just be from there. You could look at this as sort of the breaker block on the 5-minute, which I believe has already been, it has not. So I need this. Sort of like doing it like that. Guy showed me the JD strategy also. Marks his breakers in a similar fashion, and I like it. Stands out. So that would be the breaker from this reversal pattern, and then if we can break and close below, then this would be the breaker for if we close below there. But yeah, I sort of like that. Let me do a little background there, a little very light white, sort of haze. And you know what? While I'm at it, let's just set up another template. So I'd say right now, this 7:30 open, especially we can close below there. If we close below here, then you could set up this breaker on the M5. I think he does the bodies, but I'll just... Actually, I think the bodies is gas. I need to double check that on the trading I've been through, whether I'll use that as well. Regardless, right now, I think if you're going to short, I think that's a pretty good place to short it from. And if we use sort of this fib, the entry would be from the breaker. You've got this fair value gap there as well. So those are fair value gaps in the jump start on M5. And then we've got this. And notice, I didn't do my midnight open. That's midnight open, and I didn't do my daily open. And that's your daily open. Notice that gap was filled right away. So there's not really an opening gap. Notice also how this jump start brings us right to the daily open. So we'll see effectively if we get a reversal out of here on the S10, could look to trade that, or the M1 and the S10. All right, so here's my M1. This would not be a JDRS entry yet because the 100 is above the 200, so it's actually long biased still. Hey. But our current impulse structure is definitely to the downside. So again, I think we have high impact news at 9:45. Then let me just check Forex Factory as well. Yeah, it has it as well. No, sorry. Yeah. So I'm actually just gonna sit on my hands for the open, watch this stuff develop, and because of that, I will be back closer to So, good example of things playing out. Had this projection down here, jump start, came back into the breaker. Looks like it just barely did tap that top fair value gap or not. I think it did. Let's see, the high there is 85.75, and it tapped it. It didn't actually get into it. Now it looks like we're breaking through. So, if there weren't news, might be that we'd see this taken out. Get down into here. But if we get a reversal off of that, then so this is gone, right? If we get a reversal off of that, we do have. So this is the M15 projection, but you could look at this. I don't know why I didn't have that drawn, because that's the same. So you have this projection's holding true, right, on the M15. So that would still be valid if we sort of get closure above these levels. Treat that as a liquidity sweep. Notice the market open move didn't really give you an entry in terms of the M3 stuff within this range. You do have this. Let's see if that M3. Interesting. So there's the fourth projection there, which should also hit. M3. We have this as potential manipulation right now. Let me just clean some of this out because we don't really need to see it anymore. It was a nice, interesting opening move. I'm not interested in that upper fair value gap anymore. Notice that if we don't, right, like trading through the projection is not necessarily smart if you don't get closure past it again. I think sort of the idea is if you're going to get through it, you got to get some liquidity first. Which arguably, come and grab this. That's the most recent breaker. I guess you also have this as a breaker. Let's grab that. Right, from here. I guess if you look at just the body, it would be this. But notice that you're wicking that. So a close up here to me would be pretty good sign of just wait. Not bullish yet, but that refutes further bearish action for the time being. Now, if we close off of this breaker, that could indicate that we are ready for a continuation down to this one. I think that the way I just worded that was intentional, and something that I need to get better at was like, it doesn't mean we're bullish yet. It just means that the bearish sentiment has relaxed, and so don't necessarily trade the bullish action now, as if that's going to succeed, right? Because it hasn't given full signal yet. Curious if this was entry not there, but if you extend it, then you would have entered right there. Stop there. But within this range, I'm not a big fan, and also that entry doesn't come into play until after 10 o'clock. And if you recall, this is coming up, so just gonna sort of sit back. 150K count, 250K counts. Gonna try to pass those this week. 1/6 trailing drawdown. 1/6 of my trailing drawdown is what I'm trading. So another thing to notice is that we are coming off this fair value gap. Let's see. hit our projection. We went through the projection, but we didn't close. Oh, this to me last week too. That's going to be an issue maybe. Close some other programs. Hopefully that helps. Right, so in the hourly, we came back for this fair value gap. We've actually liquidated that. We closed back down. So the hourly argument is to the downside, which could give you some reason to trade through the M5 projection, which it looks like it is, right? And we also just came back and closed below that breaker on that 5. So that's more reason to continue this trade. Had you been looking at it, and it looks like there is sort of some nice entry in there. Again, I'm not trading because there's news coming. But effectively the liquidation of that level. AMS. That was a valid trade. Now your third low was created right there. If we look at the manipulation on that, it's this block probably. Haven't quite hit that second. Again, won't take the trade now. But, could take the liquidation of that. 4 R's there. That's pretty good. Risk reward. So entry would have been right here. But news incoming 3 minutes, so none of this matters. So notice we had that breaker hold, and you had this breaker hold. That one not as well, but it did hold. Also notice we're just trading this Q2 range, which I hate. That's just not okay that it does that. I need to figure that out. Why is my computer doing that? If that turns out right, it did close below, so that would be the projections on that manipulation aspect. Could also look at this. So your second of the actual manipulation is right there. Now if you use just the upper candle, it's already been met, so not as clean. If we look at the 15-minute though, it doesn't have a clean one either, so there's really nothing like super clean about the downside. You know what, maybe I can close some of. Well, I really don't have. Did I really just do that? Come on, Christopher. That was silly. That's all right. I'll get back up here. You know what, I don't need Notion while I'm trading. I can quit Notion. I don't know why. Recent that I'm getting that spinning wheel on my. So 15-minute close. That's a pretty strong close. That's the news right there. 45. That was a pretty strong close on the 15. Sort of sweep of this. Close back right at the 7:30 open. On Violet, some of them 5 holding this projection. Arguably, we have to close above here to really get this as confirmed reversal. trading, this would be the JDS, but it's not time yet, so it's not really a JDS. That is holding though to the downside. And you just had your 100 cross under the 200. But it's just based on the rest of this analysis, I'm not fully convinced. Looks like it's playing out. Breaker did get invalidated. If you look at like the 3-minute here, that was a decent sweep into this range. The EQ, close down here would be 3-minute confirmation of this play. Effectively get this. Look at that as a trade. You got a minute for that to close. Go back to our H1 objectives on that. We do have this potential down here. If we look at this as our JDRS, I'd almost like to see it extend further and close down, and then give us like the 1.5 target right to that. The immediate draw is going to be this London low, because notice a lot of this, right, as I was saying before, is used. So if it doesn't use this liquidity here and create structure to the upside, then I'd be hesitant there. 100 is that. So that JDRS would have failed now. Again, that's not an actual strategy until after 10 o'clock, so it's not saying anything bad about that. Or that was a failed trade for the system. It was just another way to look at it. This is get that 5-minute projection. Effectively, I think we had one showing. Yeah, so this is starting to hold. If we break this, we break the projection level. So if we break that, then it's no longer valid. This is a nice close above. That looks like it's going to break it. So again, let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. It's succeeded and it's done. The distribution's over. Then this would be our next projection. You could either take this for the M5 or take the full thing. I'll take that. You never closed above here, so sort of questionable. This is why you wait for these confirmations. Notice the 3-minute, right, is now effectively sweeping. Now if we could close above and then come back and test, that might be a way. We have the kill zone high here, but looking at the daily analysis, we've swept the low. I'm not too interested in like looking at that kill zone high as a reversal spot. I would think more likely that if we break above here, that we can come up into these projections. So we still have this M15 is still intact. You still haven't. You just barely closed above this liquidation. Yeah, so this is looking more likely. So I think this is a case where the JDRS could make sense because we've got these higher time frame projections. We came off of this H1 this morning to the downside, so that move could be over. All right, so if you just use that as your manipulation to the downside, it's over. And then especially if we can close into here, that sort of refutes that, and then you'd almost have this as your larger H1, which would give us even higher analysis makes sense to go bullish if we get sort of this closure. So there's a lot of reason. Continue the London high could be enough just to bring us back into effectively an entry. The 5 minute here. That's a close above on the 5 minute. Not quite on the 3 minute. Notice the 3 minute did not close above, but I'd still have this as your drawing liquidity right now. You did close above this on a 3 minute. You're back in, and we can just go call it this year. 5 minute breaker, see if that holds. You also closed above this, so you could have had that as a breaker, which has already failed. Right into the JDRS entry if you're taking it pre 10 a.m. Nice simple sweep on that. Did you tap this for high cap? No. It could have been an entry right there. Oh, that's 10S. On 1 minute you tapped that order block, so that was an entry. Dadgummit. So that was the entry. I like that trade. Once it closed up there. Yeah, the downside to that entry is you had this jump start. The downside. But it met the second projection. That was totally the entry. Now you had AMS form. Even more reason that was an entry. That impulse out. 89. So I entered on my eval right there. So this came out, and this is pretty much AMS. So 93.50. Would be the sell. If it gets there. My actual entry closer to here. It's actually 90.50 is the sell. The first sell. Okay, that's partial there. Stop unchanged. I'll go to 3R at 120. So, wow, really, I should go to here. This should be the next profit target. price weighted my trailer yet. If our price weighting, that would have stopped it. I'll price weight if we go past the 2R. The reason I say that is, well, you didn't really actually break a high, so you did. Now I could price weight below this low. This might not be a bad idea. See what happens here. I have not moved my stuff. Sort of want to. The trailer would be here if I did. But I haven't broken my levels, so I'm not going to. If I lose this trade, I'll lose, I think, quarter drawdown. Not too bad. Less than planned for. So I hit my first TP as planned. So everything right now is according to plan. That could just stop me out of that. It's just the name of the game. But I think this is a good trade. That's the stop out. So a trailer could have saved me about a little bit, but otherwise I think that's a solid trade. So let's get rid of that. Oh, this is 10 o'clock now. That was very liquidity sweepy on the M1. So we're actually still holding this range here. Look at that as a range. That was the liquidity sweep of this ERL right here. Alright, so we get a nice close here. Essentially have this as your order block. If we get it. I'd really want to see it break up here though. Alright. Holy shit. So I'm going to be in a trading call. So if not everything I say is going to make sense, but that's how it is. Yeah, I'm all right. How are you? Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think we need confirmation to go long. It's definitely long bias. I have some targets. So I mean, we have Asia High in sights. I'm not too worried about London High. We're getting closes up right now, sort of off of that last liquidity sweep on the M1. Uh, that does sort of confirm that a little bit, but not totally. We're in this Q2 range, which I hate. Uh, so especially for the JD entry, I'd want to wait. The 100 did just cross up. Um, you do the open high low close on your MAs, is that right? Yeah. Are you looking? What time frame are you looking at? Yeah. So was your anchor the total low then? In that case. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Makes sense. Yeah, it's tapping the MAs right now. Um, I don't like this as structure just because you didn't really close strongly up. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I mean we swept Asia low. London slept. London? No. Oh, I don't see London Eye being taken out yet. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, that's the. So I would call that the Q2. That's yeah. We took that out. Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You might just start looking at the New York AM quarter because that's effectively what you're doing. I think. Yeah, I think we're getting the bullish indication slowly. It's just not confirmed yet. I mean, we just took out. essentially, if you look at that M1 range, we came back down in the discount of it. We didn't quite get to the 62. Let's see, did we? Yeah, not quite. If we do, there's just not a very good order block there unless you're going to trade the wick block. Well, we're holding this fair value gap, to be fair. Yeah, unless you had taken that entry at 10 o'clock, exactly. Hmm. Are you sharing your screen? Oh. So the thing is, if we do get going, we've got a H1 fair value gap right above us. I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, that's where the London kill zone high is. Um, I would think we're going to go for London high because we swept the daily open and we've got midnight open above the fair value gap and we've got Asia high above that. So everything I see, and we're getting our confirmation right now. That was the 10-second projection target jump start just got hit to the upside. So if we get a pullback, it could come here. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, if you extended it, and now we get a sweep of the low that was formed a couple of minutes ago. No, I think it's a lower probability because we haven't broke. We would really need to break the high from the original structure and close above it um, to have a lot of confidence on this trade. Look at like the five. The 5 minutes not right. Right. There's some resistance above. I mean, you got that fair value gap. You got the London kill zone high, all blocking you from really charging. So, where's our hourly open? Not yet. So we just got back down. If you had extended your fib, we just almost touched the 62. But I'm not gonna be interested in this unless you get really in. This could have been that could have been the entry right there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd rather see sort of like some sort of confirmation on this S10. I mean, that's a good entry out of that fair value gap on the S10. In fact, that's going to be an AMS entry potentially. Looks like it's going to go. That's a good close on the M1. Yes. So what I'm waiting for on the S10 for confirmation would be like a higher high right now. I mean a higher low. It's still possible. We reached the jump start entry. This is actually AMS. Do the AMS entry right here. 11.9. See if it breaks up from there. Yeah. But it's holding that 89. That's below the 730 open though. This Q2 range might win again. Go. Yeah. Yeah, you closed below 730. Did you? You closed right on it and you got a volume imbalance down. Pretty strong down close on the 5 minute. Yeah, either that or it could go from here. Let's see. You might come for that fair value gap on the upside.
Yeah, it filled that one in, so the question is whether or not it's going to come up to that next one. That's the MAs again. I don't know. I mean, it's holding that. It's holding that wick block. Do you? Just touch. Oh, the MAs. Yeah, it's whether if it can break. You're getting an inverse to the upside right now. I'm actually in this long. Yeah, based on S10, not on what you guys are doing. It's whether or not it breaks this M1 fair value gap to the upside, whether it can keep going. And we've already broken it, so the jump start to the downside is no longer valid. So I think this is going to go to the London high now. Yeah, there's my second profit target. Yeah. Yeah. So my second profit target by tick. Where are you? Yeah. I mean, this thing's not out of the woodworks yet, but I think if we go, we might get all the way up to the Asia high, maybe. Yeah, I think this could go to Asia high. I'm gonna start price weight trailing on my M1 if it could break this high, which it did. Even right. See if it holds the MAs now. This is the retouch of the MAs and the pullback into that inversion on the M1. Yeah, you're saying that original entry was ticked out by a tick. No, if you had taken the original 10 o'clock entry, it still survived. Yep. I just didn't. I mean, I didn't like it at 10 o'clock. It didn't look. It was quick. I was actually in a trade before that thing got liquidated, and then price weight trail is. Got my trailer here now. There's London High. I think Asian High is the target at this point. Yeah, it's just we're in an H1 fair value gap, so it's how much is left there to, you might get a retrace before you get up there. Yeah, I've got 6425 as the kill zone high. Target. But notice that we're not closing past London High on the M1. And London, the kill zone high, well, we did there. So we closed into the the H1 fair value gap, which is good for the longs. It's just whether it's going to break through this. I could see this coming right back down for a little bit. You've got the setup for the entry. Interesting. Well, for my sake, I hope you don't get it. On the MAs, my trailer's just above them. Yeah, I see the breaker block there. Let's just hope it keeps pushing and brings your setup a little higher. You got this M1 fair value gap that's touching too. Oh, it hasn't hit it yet. That's sort of the potential for it to hold that. Yeah. Let's see what sort of price action we get out of there. It's almost an ad entry. Yeah, it's that H1, and this is where what I was referring to is like, my trade effectively got to 5R into that H1. It's like sometimes take that as just take profit there. There's the fill of the fair value gap. And where's you're entering on the JDRS right here? 74.50. Oh, okay. This is where I should just throw another contract on. You got this S10 pushing down. If it breaks that fair value gap to the upside on S10, it might not come any further. Got that big manipulation candle. But if it doesn't, I expect it's going to liquidate that into your entry. If it does, I expect to get up to 2450 before we get a retrace. It's filled the fair value gap, but it filled it the other way right away. Did that one close? That one hasn't closed below its fair value gap, so that could be a liquidity sweep. We'll see. I see the entry for the JDRS at 2450. Oh, but I'm using 62, not 618. That's probably why. yeah, I like wicks. Seven, huh? Yeah, it really is, isn't it? It's definitely still has potential to come down because the S10 is not closing up strongly. Not yet. That's not going to get us. I don't think that'll get us very far though. Maybe 105.75. We get close on that one. That might have been it actually. That was an M1 external liquidity sweep there because it made a short term low right there and then swept it and closed above the sweep. But we'll see. That was within a tick of my 2 ticks of my trailer. It's actually looking like that might succeed to the upside. A volume imbalance on that one there to the upside. See if it holds that volume imbalance. I still think you have the right fib. And it could be that we break up and then come back down. This is not very promising, given that it didn't really charge off that volume imbalance. We're also still in this fucking Q2 range. I hate these Q2 ranges. Am I talking to myself? Oh. It's like, what's going on? I mean, I'm used to talking to myself all day, but I figured maybe I'd have some response today. Yeah, so that was sort of an M5 order block that we came into there. Got an entry out of that. It's trying to. If we can break that high, I guess I question whether I should move my stop to that trailer again, based on that one price waiting. I think I have to break the total high though to do it, not this local one. We haven't quite met. So that liquidation that almost brought the JD entry in hasn't quite met the second deviation yet. It's a hard one to draw. To be fair. It did meet it if you just used the 10-second candle. I wonder what the 15-second looks like. It's similar. If you use the 15-second candle, it hasn't. So it's possible that's all it has off that. It might come back down and liquidate again. I don't know what your rules are. Sorry. There it goes. All right. Yeah. So I mean, I like this if you can get the move off of it. I'm personally gonna wait to see if we get a nice sort of reversion here on the S10. How much trailing drawdown over the last? Okay, I got some back. All right. So that was that. I mean, the only thing I don't like about this trade right now is we swept London kill zone high and we didn't close above. And then it's also an H1 fair value gap. But that aside, yeah, no, I think it's looking pretty good. You actually have advanced market structure entry, but you haven't closed above this liquidation candle yet on S10. So I would need to see it close above that liquidation candle for me to take this trade. 2 out of there. I also think I'm just going to go to micros again. It's crazy that even risking $1,000 a trade, like I can only afford a few contracts. Yeah, so there's another liquidation. 5 minutes getting back down. It's just that close under London kill zone is what bothers me. And the hourly, it's a fair value gap there. I think I had a little bit of greed on that. I didn't take out at 5R and I should have. I was trying to go for the win. For the big win. It's alright. With the micros, I'll be able to do better. Yeah, I mean, I think you're getting the sweep now. On the M1, you just got the sort of the reversal stuff. Liquidate back into there. I mean, to the upside. Back above the 930 open. I really want to see sort of, but your structure's right here and you're in the downside. Like, everything's looking good on this to me. This could be AMS again to the upside. This is there. Back above the 930 open. not a good close on that one. Good. Yeah, that took that out. This Q2 Rachel always gets me, man. That's 7:30 open again. Back down below here. How are we looking on the hourly? The hour's looking pretty bad if it doesn't close up. We got 20 minutes for that though. Yeah, you still got 5 minutes though. It's right into the 7:30 open. But the M1's just that's not upward PA anymore. I think this wasn't that bad of a trade considering that you had sort of this. You're still alive, aren't you? So I guess the next question is if you had taken the original entry, would you have hit 3R yet? No, you definitely would have. Well, actually, would you have? Because that's another way to invalidate it. It looks like you're going to maybe get that close up. Yeah, so actually you would have been stopped out 1R on the original JDRS entry. I don't know. I was saying, I think 3R is where I trailed into 1R on my back testing. Yeah. So the question is whether we break this M1 fair value gap to make an inversion, and then you sort of have your reversal PA to the upside. And it'd be a hold of the overall range. So I think that would give me more confidence in taking that trade. Joining you again. Your 5 minutes technically is still holding its bull structure. Your 1 hour is inconclusive. 15-minute wouldn't be so bad if this happens either. So this is the fair value gap here. So let's see if we hold it. Right now it's like the 9:30 open. Your sandwich right between the 9:30 and the 7:30. You did close above the 9:30 open, but you're getting this rejection off the fair value gap, which was totally filled, by the way. It's a pretty good reaction right there. I like that trade a lot. Where's my 10-second? 5, 1. Yeah, that's the entry now. That's the entry to join you. Right there. Set 11. What's 109 maybe? No, 108. I don't know if I'm going to get the entry there. That was the entry. I think this is going to go for you now because that's the M1 inversion. And that was the liquidity sweep. Yep. Just one more pullback if it would. Into that inversion would be nice. Yeah. That's precisely right. Close above what? That high? No. Yeah, that M5 for if I get M5 order block held through all that too. Dadgummit, I'm not in this. This is bullish as fuck. Yeah, get to that 3 before you do anything. Yeah. There's the jump start. Let's see if I take this and I don't get my original entry. Got this range here. Still have to come back down into there. So I'm just going to leave my entry as is. Of course, we have this breaker block now in that one, don't we? So it could tap into that and go from there. Got this balanced price range here. I can't take that upper fair value gap. That's not my rules. Got your reversal PA. In other words, the PA to the upside. I'm effectively looking at a JDRS on that. I don't think it's going to come all the way back down to the 62 though on that structure. I don't think so. It might go for that first fair value gap if it needs it. Your jump start target's 115. So it could reach up to there first and then come back. We'll see here. Did that break that high? Yeah, there you go. This is not even going to. Probably going to get to this jump start here at 115 before the next resistance. And it might blow through that given that the other high is right there. I don't like my entry anymore. I didn't quite get the jump start yet. Yeah. Yes. It's got a nice breaker that hasn't been touched. I mean, I can see it coming back down into this breaker. You haven't made a low yet, so here's the fair value gap that it might come back down into. You really shouldn't, I would almost anchor it off of that liquidity sweep right there. I might set a JDS entry just on that. 85.50 entry. Just stop at 20.72.75. $20.85.50. Take that wick. It's not the intermediate low. It's an aggressive one based on that wick. It's if you're using the low, I'm using that wick. I'm on New York time, 10:42 candle low. That would pretty much tap the. There's an inverse fair value gap there, and it'd be the upper fair value gap of that jump start. I'd be tempted to have my low at the 1 instead of the 90, like at the bottom of that wick. Be oversized for that if that's the case. But yeah, I mean, I think if conversely, you could use the low and then but your entry wouldn't be until 79. Let's see what happens here. I mean, we're still in the premium of the structure. I don't see any M1 liquidity getting taken. At the entry that I have marked 2 would be right on, if you use this as an order block on the M5, it'd be right on that order block for the M5. So that would make sense. 15 minutes really strong. You didn't close on the M5 to make anything. I don't have any other entries here because I haven't swept the ERO on the M1. So we just created a short-term low on the M1 that it could sweep, and then I could enter earlier on the S10 if it presents. You still haven't hit the jumpstart target on the M1. That's at 115, which means there's still upside from the initial move. There's liquidity sweep of the M1 short-term low. Right into, did it hit the fair value gap? It did not hit the M1 fair value gap, did it? It made equals on it. Yeah, it made equals on it. And actually, that was actually an entry right there. Damn it, and I missed it. Be half out already. Pretty good liquidation too. That might have been all it needed. Yep. I think that was it. That hit the M1 projection jumpstart. Could get one more pull off of this, but I don't think it needs to. I tapped that M1 fair value gap and made the reversal. I think that's it. I think that's going to go. Yeah. I just wasn't quick enough. Okay, my other entry is canceled. Yeah, so I hit the M1 liquidity sweep in the premium, right? Tapped the M1 fair value gap. Now we're getting to the 11 o'clock here. That also closed through that M1 projection. We haven't quite hit that S10 yet. I think there's going to be an 11 o'clock entry on the JDRS. So this is pretty good rejection of that as new structure, which means it could still come back down. Now the entry would be 2090. Stop right below that breaker. Actually, I think at this point I could use the larger structure. I like that better. Here we go. Yeah, but I think that's okay. I think I like this right here. 8350. See if it comes back down to that fair value gap. That's sort of reversal PA on the M1 though, isn't it, to the downside? In which case I'd want to wait. You must have hit 3R from your initial. That liquidation right back. That's the fair value gap on the M1 there. It might. That's the M1 breaker. That's going to be the 5-minute fair value gap. I mean, order block. A little slow here. This could be it. 106.25. And 13.25. And then 20.25. Yeah. That's pretty much a break-even trade here, no matter what. But hopefully it goes further. I got it in that sweep into the M5 order block. 2025 and then 27.25. And we'll try to trail on that one. Ooh, there's some major volume imbalances on the M1 that could be trading against. Hold into the downside. didn't actually give the JDR entry. Unless you use that aggressive, which I had. Yeah, so the aggressive JDR entry would be in if you use that wick from 942 as your anchor point. Right. So it might still come back for that. Looks like it's going to. Let's see. Oh, this way is. That needs to go out of there. It still hasn't touched that inverse fair value gap either from that initial. This is effectively the jump start entry back into that fair value gap, and it touched that fair value gap, and I was going to take that out, I think. But I think it's still valid trade. Might want to wait for a closure on that one if it doesn't hold here, though. I could add one to the upside. That's the 100 EMA. Okay, that stopped me out of that. It's pretty much break-even trade there. Yep. And that's breaking that to the downside. So we're in the 11 o'clock hour. This would be this larger JDS entry here. Could be just hopping in this trade. It's 80. So you get a little confirmation on the Warner S10. Problem is we're just coming off that H1 fair value gap again. What do we do on the H1? Oh, I can see it's going though. This could be the PO3 for the next H1 for sure. I like that entry right there. No, shouldn't have liked that entry. Took me out. All right, so less than R there. The less than R. That would stop this out too, I believe. Yeah, that one's gone. So the JDRS is effectively over. The aggressive JDRS on the 11 o'clock. If we go back to the hour again, it's coming off this fair value gap, so we could London high. Need to wait for confirmation on that. That's pretty confirmation-y. Let's close above that candle there. $86, $85. It's 9:30. We're in this Q2 range. Fucking hate this Q2 range. Look at that minute candle. Yeah, no. Calm down, buddy. Got this jump start to the downside here. Ooh, it hit that second though. It's closing off of that, isn't it? Jumpstart has us going down to the daily open again. Could sweep all of this before going if it's going to go. Still, though, we're holding all this, and like you'd think this Asia high is in play today. The 5 minutes got that sweep. Yeah. Got targets to the downside now. And you've got, this is all really low resistance liquidity right here. Because it's all been consumed pretty much. So I could see a sweep all the way back down to the daily open, if not the low from this morning. If you were to draw an M5 projection, that gets you down to the M5 fourth projection right now will get you down to London low. It's crazy wick on London, isn't it? I mean on the hourly to make London low. Yeah, if you close below here, you've got even this order block on that M5. That's really bad. It's just this 7:30 open. Notice it's struggling again. And that's a hold of the jump start on the M1 and the manipulation on the M1. Where is my 7:30 range? I hit it somewhere. Deleted it. I don't know why. 7:30 to 9, so it's actually this. Look at our 3 minute here, closing back to 3 minutes. Giving us a jump start to the downside too. Oh, the MAs haven't crossed for the JDRS. So no. You'd have to wait for that. Now it could happen. You know, you had your reversal signal really at 10:57. Now for like how I analyze, I could see it being, again, I see us, we have targets now all the way down to, on the 3 minute, you have it down to 2,000. Close below your 7:30 open. I don't really trade the 3 minute, but on the 5 minute, see on the 5 minute, we still haven't closed below this big up block to give me the full. Now we had a nice liquidation, and based off that last candle that liquidated, you've got projections down all the way to 1960.50 for the fourth. But the second has you just liquidating all of this liquidity from this morning. So, barring the MAs, yes, I sort of see it, but that's not part of the plan for JDRS. You have to get those M1s crossing again to be able to take it. Which right now it's not. And on the M1 projections, you're actually holding a lot of these levels. So that manipulation block came down and it hit the first projection on the M1 and held, which is a second deviation. So unless it breaks through there, I have a hard time trading the full breakthrough. It didn't even break the, like it wicked through, but it didn't close past the second projection on the either one of them. And this is becoming M1 reversal PA to the upside. Your MAs are still up. Now you're in a 5-minute fair value gap right now to the downside. So if you were to trade the shorts, this is not a bad spot to trade it from. And that's also 9:30 open. I just wicked off of. You did get a liquidation of the M1 and the 9:30. About to get AMS. Do the full projection there, but that's valid in itself. 26. What is that? Fuck. Not able to calculate this shit well enough. Not fast enough. What the fuck just happened? I did have this fair value gap here. So it hit that fair value gap. Is that? You're getting your reversal PA on that one to the upside move. But that was also a liquidation in this downward impulse. And you haven't closed above that. That was a decent entry right there. Last stab at this short. a market maker sell model. Was that a pullback into? No, the MAs are still up. Yeah, so it's not a JDRS entry. Just enter on minus 10 stuff. That's a good push there. There it goes. Oh, buy a tick. Don't you do that, you dirty dog. I would target 5,650 and it hit 57.25. That's good inversion there. Five projection there. Daily open. Nice and balanced there. See if it holds this inversion. That'd be really good. There it is. That's TP2. Let's hold an inversion. Hold of those MAs too. Could still come back for that JDRS entry now. Well, if you're trading the shorts, but you don't have the crossover yet, you need that crossover. We're just going to come back for the volume imbalance on that one. I'd rather just plummet right here. That would be my preferred price action at this point. See if we get it. Let's see, I have 60 left and I have 3 targets, so I need one final target. Maybe just the one. Really need to break that low on that 5. Struggling here. 98, 180. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have the MA crossover for the JDRS. I mean, I was just trading out of that M5 fair value gap with a sweep of the M1 liquidity. That was effectively all I was doing there. Got confirmation on S10. This jump starts S10 jump start out there is not really working. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's a range day for sure. I'm just going based on the fact that we had that M5 manipulate. I guess just the liquidation at the top. So it's like it's gonna come take me out. I filled that volume imbalance and touched the 930 open again. Big move like that though, I can't imagine it's gonna hold down there. It's gonna burst through to the upside now. 5-minute close up here is gonna be bullish. Got 2 minutes for that. Let's touch those MAs again. But it broke through that inverse fair value gap. And now you have a fair value gap to the upside on the M1. It's looking awfully long reversely on that one. See what happens the next couple minutes, couple seconds. I think it's gonna burst through. But I'm following my management plan. Yeah, it is. I've stopped. I've changed it so many times to have it, take me out or something, and then go in my direction. That I'm slowly learning, very slowly, not to ruin my plan. That's the fair value gap to the upside. Let's see if it holds that. It's holding those. If it doesn't, it's holding those MAs to the downside quite well. But it's a Monday, right? So range is expected. That's pretty good hold of that M1 fair value gap to the upside. That's probably going to bring some people into the market to the longs. Interestingly, it's also AMS to the downside, but you didn't break that structure. But I think that's probably going to do it. But I followed my plan. Yep. There she goes. All right. Not the best day, but not the worst. I had several trades get to like that one got to 2 point something R. Had I had the clean entry, it would have been 4R. And then the one this morning got to 5R and I didn't pull out. Silly. You got that reversal P on that one, but this is going to bring you back into the JDS, but your MAs are not crossed for the downside. For the long side, you're not wrong. I'd have a hard time trading it because the impulse is still down. But if you're doing hourly PO3 to break through to the top, Asia high. Where would you put your anchor? See, yeah. Well, it broke. It broke. Yeah, it broke some structure, but not good structure yet. See, I think you're this. Do all this shit. I'm a date picker for my birthday. I gotta go ways back. Could be looking for that, huh? Oh, come on, man. I'm thinking we're gonna get that, huh? That's definitely a reversal, PA. You've hit your second deviation. You still couldn't close below it. But you still haven't broken that sort of bigger one. Like conversely, yeah. Conversely, this is the, although the MAs aren't there, this is the entry to the downside right now. In the M1 break block. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I think it's choppy. See you tomorrow.
Excuse me. Oh, we got the closure there. That would have been not really paying attention. Probably where I was still holding on to my trade. This is not that one. Yeah, I think that's the, going back to Asia high effectively is what it's looking like. Use this one or this one? I would not use this anymore. I think this is the level. We've already used that. You got this fair value gap here. You close above this breaker now. And to me, this isn't the trade anyway because you had MAs are still up, broken through sort of that order block, broke through that breaker upside. So I don't expect this to hold anymore. This came back down for that breaker. I mean, really, this could just go from here. There's nothing to come back down for. If it does come back down, it might be over. Conversely, if we close up, right, then you'd have this nice breaker here, which we sort of did close up, so you could be trading out of this breaker right here right now, but we didn't close above this high, which is why it wouldn't necessarily be valid yet. Jump start. This is probably the last. Liquidation. You do have this fair value gap here, and you have that breaker there. So you got that as a target. You anchored there. So if you can break that now, we did just hit that second projection, which should give an indication that potentially it's going to come back down. Check our M5 or H1 is looking strong. M5 now has inverted this. And you have this fair value gap. Notice that the 1.5 would bring you up into there, so I'm really starting to like this trade as JDRS. It's got a lot of confluences in there. I'd almost rather just have it sort of a limit order right there. The actual JDRS entry will be right here. I like to just cover that low right there. I mean, if it's going to go down 130, 2085, 75.
JDRS entry here on this H1. If you look at some of this initial manipulation, like if you go look at the M5, what I liked is because you closed above here now. So we're going to have to take this up further. You're also potentially getting a jump start there. $25.75, $25.25, and the entry is at $86.25. Actually, it's even higher now. Which again, I'm sort of liking this higher entry because $86.75. That gets us right off that fair value gap on them 5. But you're going to the races here. $87.50, $75.75. Micro's not bad. We broke that high now. Just get tagged in. Interesting liquidation there. You take out any IRL? I don't think so. Actually, just got the market structure entry there, but that's 10. You've got all of this down here. I would expect it to come back down here. Here's the breakout low. Pull this up. 28.75. 25.75. 5 minute. Another fair value gap up here. So now we have that jump start entry on the 5 minute showing. As a possible, as a further draw to the upside. Notice that this one hit, and I was trading against that again. Got that as a target, and we got this as a target. The JDRS strategy has it all the way up there. No entry even on my S10 strategies because we don't have any liquidity sweeps. This entry is getting higher and higher in this leg, which I don't like. It's getting too high now. So far, I think I've been okay with most of my trades. Should be 115. What was that? Got all that loaded as it's a good cup and then grab the entry here. See if it sweeps that. This hits a 7.5 projection. Getting less and less happy about this trade. Just because the entry's up there. There should be an entry of 100. Still went up to 291.50. 2077. Yeah.
I'm gonna run to Central.
Still like this trade as long as it doesn't. Once it's that M5 projection, I sort of wouldn't want to see it come all the way back down to here. And then then I'd probably want to have it like there or something, or maybe anchor here. As it is, I think it's okay if it comes back down and grabs its fair value gap here. Sort of like that trade. Not thrilled about the stop being where it is, but there's enough here that like if it's gonna break all that, it's probably gonna break it all anyway. There's a ton of liquidity here in the entry zone. This M1 breaker, arguably, you could say it's already been used. Actually, that's not even the breaker, is it? Here's the breaker. That's the breaker. So it should be enough to stop if it slams down and tag me in. Got the 200 right in there. A lot of low. If we break this, it's a lot of low resistance liquidity. All of this is low resistance because it's been consumed on the way up. Any of the footprints here. Only the next footprint's down here. See where my entry is. back down and liquidate that bottom. This could be the pullback. There's liquidity sweep. It's the 100. It would be a shame not to get tagged in there. I like that we haven't hit 10M5 projection yet. You're effectively going to get this next open right here. It sweeps down and knocks me in. Is that the 618 entry? That'd make me upset. Oh, not quite. There's some buyers here. If we do get tagged into this, targets. So notice the last candle did close up on the hour. Notice how it would bring us right into this projection. I just really like that. Problem is holding this upper fair value gap. But it broke through, which suggests that maybe it'll grab this next one. Like it's closing above it. Q sweep. Hit that projection right in the fair value gap there on the jump start for them one. That'll tag us in. Just get that Q sweep and make it sweepy. It's going to close up on M5 if it closes there. And what I mean by up is above that fair value gap. It might take longer to get tagged in. Notice that you still haven't closed above the initial Q candle. Should be this. Still in here, JD? You know, I haven't really looked at is there any SMT divergence in here? Or not really. A little bit on the 15. The downside. There was some SMT divergence on those on the 5 minute. But the ES had a higher high, so ES had a high over here too. What I'd like to see is this just go all the way back into this fair value gap here and go from there. Because we haven't hit this jump start target yet. Those first 5 minutes did close down there. So PO3 on this is to the outside is the prediction. This is your M1 jump start to the downside. Let's bring us right into the entry. So I don't mind this consolidation because it's effectively giving us the pre-move some liquidity right here that could sweep in addition to what I'm already waiting for. break to the upside, I'm leaving this trade on. I mean, the upside is in 125.75 upside. He's trying to tag me in. Tagged in. Does 106.25. First target. $20.75. Next target. $135.25. Shame to get ticked out of that. Might not have all these targets to get to. Really hate to stop out and have it hold this structure. Notice it's holding the M1 projection so far. In terms of not closing below it, but looks like it might take me out. See how much liquidity they need. That order block arguably has already been consumed, right? So I'd hate to see it tick me out and go, but it is what it is. There it is. Alright, gave it a go. It was a good trade though. I'm glad to see it didn't take that out and then go like hold that structure that I had. Arguably if you're anchored here, you also got ticked out. So I think that was the right trade right there. That will do it for the day. You know, if this is gonna hold, it's gonna hold right there. I'm actually that's a fine trade. The fact that it didn't work is okay. Still had upside projections. I like that one. Live to fight another day. You know, I think that was the negative confluence was that you're in this fair value gap, but the fact that you went in, I guess you never closed in, so that was still negative confluence there. But otherwise, I think that was okay. Like this, you had your M5 projection as a target. You're coming out of that projection. So I like that trade. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. So I think that's it. Sorry, I didn't realize I was still recording. See y'all tomorrow.